Heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women, and what better month to talk about heart health than in February. Today we focus on cholesterol and its role in heart health. Joining us this morning is registered dietitian Allie Miller to explain what is fact and fiction when it comes to cholesterol. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
We're going to make some goodies in just a moment, but
Absolutely.
let's talk about cholesterol, because when people think of that, you always think, oh, I want the lowest number, but that's actually a myth.
Right, that is a myth. The lower the better is definitely a myth. Once you get below the numbers of 150 as a total cholesterol, it's important to know that cholesterol is a steroid hormone, and so you're going to see some deficiencies in things that the body needs, such as vitamin D, testosterone, which can lead to erectile dysfunction, and serotonin, which can lead to depression. There's also another enzyme called CoQ10 that we're seeing in research that's correlating to Alzheimer's, diabetes, and cardiac diseases, and that's also becoming deficient with the really low cholesterol levels.
Okay, so let's talk about how we can fix that, because a lot of people think statin drugs are the way to go. Is that also a myth?
Right. Well, you know, the first line of treatment through the ATP3 guidelines, which all physicians follow, is supposed to be therapeutic lifestyle programs. The issue is that with a standard physician's appointment, you only get about 3 to 5 minutes of talk time with your physician. So you might get a one-size-fits-all lower your cholesterol plan, but that doesn't always fit your lifestyle, your needs. And so what really the first line is lifestyle education. There are therapeutic meal plans. I can get my clients in 3 months to lower their cholesterol by 27% or greater, which is just as effective as a statin drug. So I've gotten clients off of statins or be able to avoid going on them in the first place.
That's a big deal, almost
Absolutely.
30%
Yes.
lower. And you're having something new coming up where you're going to help people over a 12-week period?
Yes, I'm having a program called Revive, and that's exactly what it is. You know, Revive means to restart or resuscitate. The concept is that you're able to reset your lab values in that 90-day period. And I'll use things such as soluble fiber, and what soluble fiber does, like in our oats today, is it's going to pull the excess cholesterol from your system and pull that out of the system versus blocking that production pathway like some of the drugs do, causing other deficiencies.
I love the lifestyle thought, because I don't think people realize how just some simple changes can really make a big difference. Okay, eggs are also a big thought, because a lot of people think, oh, and I'll even serve them and they say, no way, it's going to raise my cholesterol.
Absolutely. So dietary cholesterol, we have to get out of that thought process of the 80s and the 90s. Dietary cholesterol does not make internal or endogenous cholesterol levels. And actually, we're attributing a lot more research to that glycemic index, which you guys hear me talk about all the time. And so it's all about the carbohydrates, which are going to raise your blood sugar levels. You want those healthy fats and proteins to curb that blood sugar spike, because when the blood sugar spikes, we store the excess energy as fat, and cholesterol is a type of fat. So you can make cholesterol out of a vegan 0 milligram cholesterol muffin, because that refined processed flour and sugar in there.
Hey, it's good to know. And you have an example of this, because I think snacking is my hardest point.
Absolutely.
I do great with my meals, but it's those in-between times when I forget to pack something that you fall on the diet.
Yep, and it's at every 3 to 4 hours, which is a really big key for success. So I'm going to make a therapeutic bar, and so what we're going to start with is some almond butter, and I've heated this up ahead of time, so it's pretty nice and liquid. I'm going to add some vanilla extract and a little pinch of sea salt to that. So we're getting a little bit of the savory and salty, and it was non-salted almond butter to begin with, so really not enough to raise the blood pressure level. Then we're going to add in some honey, and this is a raw local honey. It's also going to be very antimicrobial, which is going to be important for immune system function. And we would remove this from the heat. You could do this stovetop as well, as long as it gets to a nice viscosity like maple syrup here. And then I'm going to add in some protein powder. Like I said, you always want to pair that protein with those carbohydrates. So I just have a plain whey protein powder. And I'm going to add in a nice sized scoop. You could do 2, but it's a great way to get protein in for the kids as well. Research supports 15 grams at breakfast helps with testing scores throughout the days and cognitive function. So really good for ADHD, regulating energy levels, and brain function.
Oh, that's good to know. And I always wonder when I get a smoothie if I should add that protein powder in, so it looks like it's a good thing
and whey would be a really good choice. So now I have a nice mix here. I'm going to just simply toss in my oats. This is my soluble fiber. These are just old-fashioned rolled oats. I'm going to add in some pumpkin seeds, which are a great source of zinc, very heart healthy. I'm going to add my dried cherries, which are high in the anthocyanins. Those red pigments help with blood flow. And then I'm going to toss in some dark chocolate. It's the best part.
Good for our heart.
Yes, and actually the dark chocolate can lower the blood pressure by 6 points in over 4-week period.
All right, you stir it up, and then I guess you're going to bake it, and here's our final product.
You actually don't bake it. You're just going to mash it into the pan.
Really?
Even easier, yeah. So I put some coconut oil in my pan. I would just be mashing this in, and this is our end product.
Wow, because that looks nice and golden brown. All right, it looks great. Thanks, Allie, for helping us out, and hopefully we'll be heart healthy the rest of the month and year for that matter.
Absolutely, yeah. And check out the program at naturallynourished.rd.com.
Okay, we'll have the link on our website, and now it's time to munch.